the free-to-play channel, so it is time to do what I said I would have done yesterday. Let's build my newest champions, and I really want to discuss kind of how to build these champions. Now, I'm actually not going to put the gear on them. I'm going to build the gear that I would put on them because I have a lot of silver, and we're also in the middle of an artifact enhancement event. I'm just trying to double dip here. I'm not really going for the soul on Armanz. I have a 1-star soul for him, and I'm not saying that that's better or anything, but a lot of time and energy went into his fusion, and with an account on limited resources like a free-to-play account such as this, it's really difficult to do a fusion, soul, fusion, soul, fusion, soul. You know, my resources are going to run out. So I want to use this time to recuperate my resources. But there are still opportunities to double dip when available and say, okay, well, I know that there's an artifact enhancement going on. Let me upgrade some gear during that. I'll get a few festival points as well, which is, you know, yay. I'm not going out of my way for them. I'm going to use what energy I've naturally gained to accomplish it, and we'll just kind of do it that way. So I'm just passively going for it. I'm not actively going for it, if that makes sense. But I really want to talk about Coldheart, because Coldheart, as I mentioned after I pulled her, can be difficult to fully understand and build. I did 2 episodes on it, so now we're going to see what this account is capable of doing in building a Coldheart. The other champion that I'm going to build is Armanz. Now, I did also build my Arbiter, but, I mean, quite frankly, all speed set, and you want to get as many speed substats procs as you can. Also, I want to point out that my arena team was already kind of in the gold 3, but she's making it go way faster, and I'm winning fights that I don't want to use too many keys here, to be honest with you. Like, look at this team. This team might beat me if they have their Arbiter faster than mine. And they do, right? Yeah. So that's a speed team right there. They outsped me. A big part of that is probably because they have the blessing on her, and they have that increasing her aura, so they get higher speeds from her aura. That's the only speed team I really kind of see. We could do this one. I don't know. If I'm faster than this team, I should win. And I am. So what Arbiter really does is just unlocks that speed potential that I haven't been able to get just off of my Deacon. Deacon can kind of work in a similar way, but once you get Arbiter, she really unlocks speed teams, and she's been doing a great job. And now I'm very solidly in gold 3, and I mean, battles are pretty easy for me. I'm not afraid of a battle. I don't have to pick and choose. I'm able to just kind of go down the list in order and just boom, 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 and knock those battles out. So she's doing great. Exactly what I wanted her to do. Exactly what she's meant to do. As I get her leveled up, I could certainly use her in other areas. She does have a very good kit. You know, she does give turn meter, of course, and I don't think she gives increased speed. I think it's just turn meter, right? Yeah, turn meter and increased attack, yeah. But there is a little mini heal here. It only goes to 50%, but it's not that bad. And then her extra turn on revive is really handy as well, because usually you'll revive somebody and then immediately give them turn meter and they get a turn, and it's really satisfying. Especially if you're reviving somebody that can kind of heal your team in different ways. So there's definitely value in her heal. I've used her in many places outside of the arena on my main account, you know, as the account gets progressed. But okay, let's build. You know, let's start with Armanz. I feel like Armanz is pretty easy, though. We're really just looking for a few specific stats. So We're looking for speed and accuracy. That's what we're looking for. Perception gear would be best, so I'm going to come down here and kind of look and see what perception gear that I have. Doesn't look like I have any that has speed and accuracy right now. So this speed gear is probably what I'm looking for. Now, his abilities are based on attack, yep. But I would still put him probably in an HP chest, for example. So really, we've got 3 pieces of speed gear right here that are perfectly fine. And then this piece right here, I'm just going to take up to 12. Great rolls on it. So, I mean, all of these pieces are pretty much what I would put on Armanz. This, all 4 of these. Sorry, this, and this. I have talked about it before, and I would actually go with this weapon because this one is only 30, this one's 32. I've talked about it before. I'm not going to put the gear on him until I'm done leveling him, but we've got the top 3 and a chest, so now we're just looking at gloves and boots. So let's filter that out. So for boots, we don't want the substats. We want let's do boots first. So main stat speed. Okay. Well, what about if I do gloves? Yeah, see, I don't have a speed set for gloves that I would use. So let's go back to looking at boots. And we won't use these ones. Well, I guess we still could. I'm just going to look first and see if there's a set that I could make work. I don't think there's a set that I can really make work. So for these, I'm really going to want probably HP. So I would go, whoops, didn't mean to do that, but okay. They are stuck where they're at now because I'm not taking them off. Because it would cost me silver, no reason to waste that silver. But these would be the gloves that I would go with. And so we've kind of got Armanz built. Armanz is pretty easy to build. You know, you just want speed, accuracy. Let me just double check there isn't anything crazy in his kit, but yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's do Coldheart. So, Coldheart is going to break with a lot of traditional concepts that you may have been doing, right? So, I've talked about this before, but if you're new here, or if you haven't kind of seen this, you're going to look at her skills and you're going to say, okay, damage based on attack, enemy max HP, and attack, right? So you're going to say, oh, boom, attack chest. The problem is that Coldheart has very low HP, so when she's fully leveled up, she's going to have... Sorry for the sniffling. She's going to have 13,000 HP, right? That's not a lot to start with, and she's going to be very weak and very squishy, so you're going to want to kind of build her a little stronger than that. What I would recommend is HP on the chest, but then you're going to want to have crit rate and crit damage. So you'll see this particular account doesn't really have anything that's HP percent with crit rate and crit damage that isn't already equipped. And I'm not going to mess with her gear. What I would say is maybe we take out the crit rate, and that could give us a few more options. Now, why do I say that? Well, it's important to understand the entire kit when building every champion that you build. This big hitter, this is the secret to her kit. This is what makes her so good. Turn meter, 100% reduction, but 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit, meaning you only need to get her to 70% crit rate. Now, we don't have masteries on her yet, but we will. So we need to get 65% crit rate on her total, because we're going to get 5% more from masteries when we give her the deadly precision, which you're definitely going to get on a Coldheart. So that's pretty reasonable to do. If you don't have the gear on your account, you could just, if you put her in just crit rate gloves and then crit damage everywhere else, you're good. What I prefer to do is to put crit damage gear on her gloves and hope it has a substat of crit rate and do that. So now what I'm looking for on her is items that are going to be very, very good for her damage output. If I could build her in a Savage set, that would improve her damage because she would ignore defense as well as dealing enemy max HP. A Relentless set would be really good. But the reality is those may be kind of hard to do. So if we look at outside of this and we just go with crit rate and crit damage gear, or let's even just do crit damage gear and look at these sets that I just mentioned and say we've got Savage, quite a few options there, not too bad. What was the other one that I saw in there? Oh yeah, Relentless. But there's something else to remember. Turn meter reduction. Most likely, you're building your first Coldheart. You probably don't have any other form of turn meter reduction. And what I mean by that is, or effective turn meter reduction. You probably don't have Newt. Maybe you have an Allure. Maybe you have Armiger. But her turn meter reduction is a very valuable part of her kit and shouldn't be slept on. So you want to make sure that you're not only doing crit damage, but also accuracy, which changes things quite a bit, right? So now we've got kind of less wiggle room with these 4-piece sets, right? Because really what I would be looking for, like a perfect piece, and I always talk about this, this is a perfect piece right here. These 4 stats would be my perfect piece. Maybe you could do attack percent or maybe HP percent, right? Those are viable as well, but for me, I would like speed. I'd like speed, crit rate, crit damage, and accuracy. This is a really, really good piece. I'm going to take off all of these filters and double check my Killstroke gear and see if I can have 2 pieces of it. This is a really weak helmet for her. And I've already reworked it once. Actually, it's kind of good. Alright, so I would put these 2 pieces on her, and I'm going to explain why. Defense percent, that's survivability. I would rather have HP, but there is also an HP substat roll on it, as well as accuracy. So I'm getting 3 right here. I would love for this to be crit damage. However, I'm going to get 20% crit damage just by equipping the set, including 5% speed. So when you consider the benefits of completing the set, you're actually going to end up probably with more crit damage than I'd be able to get across just 2 pieces. And both pieces have accuracy on them. It's a good set for a Coldheart. So this is what I would want to use. So let's do fitting room now. We're going to try on these pieces. So already I'm at 21% crit rate. Already. I need 65. You can see how she can be kind of easy to build. So what we're going to do next, we're going to go back to crit damage gloves. I definitely want to have crit rate as the substat on there. I don't think I'll be able to complete a relentless set, so I'm not going to worry about any sets at this point. I really want crit damage gloves. The only crit damage gloves that may have a chance of completing a set are these offense ones, or maybe resistance or speed, but those aren't super big priorities for her kit. So what I do want to have is to have crit rate, speed, and accuracy would be a perfect piece, right? Let's take off the speed and just do crit rate and accuracy. This is a piece that's worth considering. I'm going to take it to 12. And we did get the accuracy roll. Now, this one is a contender. Because it does have the HP percent, the accuracy, and the crit rate. So, it rolled double accuracy, but I don't like getting that flat stat attack, where here, everything is valuable. We're getting extra crit rate, which this didn't roll any crit rate. We're getting accuracy, which we really, really want on a Coldheart. And we're getting attack percent. Now, again, I wouldn't really build her for attack percent, but I'm not going to say no to it. She's an attack-based champion. If it's there, it's there. I'm going to be happy about it. Would I prefer that to be HP percent? Yes, just given how squishy she is, but this is a really good piece, and we're getting 10% crit rate off of these gauntlets. I'm going to take these all the way to 16, mostly for the points, and to see what the substat. Speed, perfect. Love to see that. Very, very happy to see that. Definitely going to try those on. So we're already at 31%. So now we have these 3 areas. And for substats, we want to see crit rate, crit damage, and accuracy are really what we're looking for in these areas. Now, I would want speed boots. It doesn't appear to be any speed boots that have this perfect kind of set, right? This perfect gear. Well, let's organize this now. So this has the three main stats we want are on all of these pieces. Defiant, if I can make that work. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to try this on. That is a very, very good piece. 10% more crit rate, a lot of crit damage and accuracy. And then if I can complete the set, I'm not saying I can, but if I can, it changes the game quite a bit. So we're going to take all these substats off now and just look and see what speed boots we have available to us. Well, then I'm going to take that off. And I'm going to look and see, just looking at Defiant gear, it's all weapons. So let's do this again then. Let's do crit rate, crit damage, accuracy, right? And I'm going to prioritize. I want a lot of crit rate here. So this would give me Immortal set I can definitely finish. I like that we get 15% crit rate, 11%, and some accuracy, and a little bit of attack percent. So I actually really, really like this piece, and I'm going to gain 5% more crit rate. Again, remember, we only need to hit 65 here on this number. All right, so I'm very, very happy with that. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn set filters off again. And now we are going to look at speed boots. I'm just looking at all speed boots right now. I'm not considering any other stats right now. I'm just looking to see what our options are on the account. Now, this is a very, very good piece for Coldheart. Definitely kind of where I want to start. However, this one could be a very good piece too. We have the crit rate. We don't have a lot of the other stats though. So we're really just looking to see if this will finish out our crit rate or not. I'll take this to 12 and see what we get. 2 into the crit rate. So with this piece, let's try it on. We're at 61. This would take us down to 55 and require me to get 5%, would require me to get a lot of crit rate on the chest. I think I like the immortal speed boots better for right now. I do think, because all I need now is 4% crit rate, which can open up a lot more opportunities for an HP percent chest. So we need to have crit rate. That's not an option, right? We need to hit 65% crit rate right now. We're going to filter this down to chest only. So an HP percent chest with crit rate, and let's see what our options are. So let's look at all of these pieces. So crit rate and accuracy, cool. Do any of them have crit damage? No. So none of them, I don't have a chest on the account that is HP percent with crit rate and crit damage. So we kind of want to take a look and see what these roll. Let's start with the 2 6-star pieces and take them to 12 and see what they do. They're both legendary pieces, so they could go higher. So we get, I mean, we really actually don't want it to roll crit rate, if I'm honest. We don't. We want it to sit at the 5% that is offered. So I'm kind of okay with that. Do any of these have the crit rate and accuracy? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this is the piece then. Because we're getting the HP from the chest itself. We get extra speed, we get accuracy, and we get that little bit of crit rate that we need. I'm hoping this doesn't roll crit rate. Wow, what a great piece. This is a really, like, I mean, you'd love to see crit damage on this instead, but to get all that extra accuracy and have the HP that it brings, it really is elevating her potential. So if we try this on, so this is the gear that I would put on her. And as you can see, it does take us to 66% crit rate, 158% crit damage. Again, that's without a crit damage neck. We also don't have any crit damage masteries or anything, so this is not the final form for her. And we're already at 118 accuracy without any additional masteries or anything like that. Or an accuracy banner. So that's a really good start so far. Now, if we come down here into the accessories tab, let's see if we have a crit damage neck. We do have a crit damage neck with some added survivability, meaning she'll live at least 1 turn, so there's no reason to say no to that. So this would definitely be the neck that we would put on her. Then the other thing I want to look for is an accuracy banner. And boom, we have a 6-star accuracy banner. Easy banner, 100% gonna put this on a Coldheart with a little extra speed. I'd love to see HP percent on it, but rather than flat HP, but still, it's a 6-star accuracy banner. That's gonna get us a huge amount of accuracy. This is just a great item. I'm definitely gonna take this all the way up. Great rolls. I like that it's kind of across the board. Again, I'm not a big fan of the flat stat there, but I do kind of like the balanced of it. And then, you know, I can't try it on, unfortunately, because she's not ascended, of course, but that's already getting us to 200 and something accuracy, which is kind of what you'll be looking at in dungeons. So really, really happy with the build that I would have on her. Again, I'm not putting the gear on her simply because I don't like having gear on champions while I'm leveling them up, because then they'll take turns, and I don't really want them to take turns when they're level 1, right? I want them to just sit there and do nothing and let my other champions carry them along the way. So, yeah, very, very happy with the gear that I was able to get to work on her. Now, I'm going to have to make sure I remember this video so I can go back and reference it when the time comes, because I don't know how quickly I'm going to get her leveled up, but I do want to get her leveled up and kind of get more consistency in the dungeons where she would be really good. So that will be the next step. And I do already have some food, not a lot, but if I was to upgrade a 5-star, I've got 1 5-star food right now. So not a lot. I need to get to work on that. I've been being a little lazy about the account, if I'm honest with you guys. It's just after a really tough grind like we had with Armanz, it's nice to take a little bit of a break, at least for me, you know. And I've also been focusing on other areas like Hydra on the main account. You've seen a lot of Hydra videos come out. That's kind of what I've been focusing on. So, let's grab some Titan. You'll see I haven't done any Titan stuff on the account. I think I tried to do a little dragon, didn't have the energy for it. I don't really want to spend my energy in Ice Golem, honestly. So I'm probably going to wait till the next tournament and spend my energy there, or maybe just say screw it and start using my energy in Minotaur and getting the masteries for Armanz, Coldheart, and Arbiter as well, I think, doesn't have masteries. Yeah, and that's going to... If I can get the masteries and get her even faster, I won't lose those speed battles like I just lost against that other Arbiter. So I probably need to get to work in Minotaur for them, because I do want to use Minotaur now instead of spending 800 gems, because I want to be more conservative with my gems. It's something that I never did in the past, but now that I have things like RSL Helper and can tell it, hey, stop at this point, it's a little bit easier to accomplish. So, all right, everybody. Well, I'm going to call that a video. I hope it was informative for you guys on how to build your Coldheart. A couple of things I want to remind you about. Remember that I went for 65% because I don't have masteries. You're going to get 5% in masteries. So don't just think, oh, I can only put her to 65%. No, you can put her more. All right, you can, you want her at 70 with masteries, just to be perfectly clear. But I'm calculating that I would be using that in the future. If you're struggling to hit the crit rate, or if you don't have a good set of crit damage gloves, then you can always go with some crit rate gloves. If I was to put right here, like, this is too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, 6-star crit rate gloves is too much. That puts her at 75% crit rate. That's just too, that you don't need that much crit rate on Coldheart. You want 70%. So, but if you did have a set of 5-star crit rate gloves, I don't know if I have any leveled on the account yet. You'll see that's 50%. So there's your 65 right there. Then you just get crit damage out of everything else that you can. You honestly, it might even be easier if you go that route, because you may have some really high crit damage stuff, you know, on the account that has rolled high. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna do this real quick. If I hide set filters and prioritize crit damage, I'm gonna have to turn off gauntlets though. So yeah, there's 24% crit rate right there. There's 33% crit damage. But see, even here we have extra crit rate and extra crit rate, right? We're already getting more crit rate than we really want. 19% crit damage. Speed boots, we're getting another 19% crit damage there. Like, you know, if you did have crit rate gloves across these 3 pieces, I mean, we're at, what, about 50 here. and then so we're about like 90 crit damage right there just off of these three pieces. Um, so but no accuracy. We have accuracy on two of these pieces, so you do have to balance that accuracy element for her because it is an important part of her kit. You want to have that full turn meter reduction that will allow your other turn meter reducing champions, something like Armiger or even a Lure, in certain fights where she will be able to hit that slowdown, or even somebody like Soul Bond, right? We've got 70. She's got, when booked, this becomes 75. So yeah, 10, 50, 25. Yeah. So 100% chance of also fully depleting. So you could bring Coldheart, and she's gonna also deplete turn meter alongside of. Oh, sorry, I said Coldheart. I meant Soul Bond. She's gonna deplete turn meter alongside also things like Geomancer's turn meter reduction. I mean, you put those two champions together, and bosses aren't gonna take turns, and that's a big benefit to your account. So don't sleep on the accuracy portion. And once I get her leveled, I'm going to buckle down and start, because I do still have some time. So I think tonight I have some time on this champion training event. I'm going to get our champion training tournament. I'm going to get some food leveled up. I have no interest in the skin on this account, but I am going to get some of this food leveled up and see if I can get it, put it into Coldheart, and hopefully get a build on her from a free-to-play perspective, and show you guys exactly what you're looking for. So that expect that to come in the coming days. But I told you guys I would build both those champions on camera for you, and I did. So I'm not going to stream tonight or Sunday. I don't think I might not stream for about 2 weeks. But I really want to do some account takeovers. I'm getting a lot of questions and stuff in Discord and comments on videos where I really want to elaborate and kind of bring some more stuff. I'd also like to record another question block. We haven't done one of those in a while. So if you guys have any questions, any curiosities, anything that you want to know about the game, or just kind of just a question that you have, posted in the comments or in the Discord, and I will bring that up and record a new episode of Question Block for you guys. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next time.